Minecraft just released a brand new snapshot showcasing a lot of cool features. So today I'm going to be showing you 12 new features coming to Minecraft 1.22. There is a new biome being added in Minecraft 1.22 and it's called the Pale Garden. This biome looks almost identical to the Dark Forest biome except it's completely gray, which was actually an intentional feature because the new Pale Garden will always spawn next to the Dark Forest biome. They added this feature because Mojang wanted to create a new spooky feeling to the game, which is achieved by giving you this scary transition as you wander around the forest into this new dark setting. But of course, you have to be careful as you travel around this new biome because there is a new mob called the Creaking. The Creaking is a new hostile mob that only comes out at night and only attacks you when you aren't looking at them, which is actually a brand new mechanic to Minecraft. The Creaking spawns when you approach their spawner called the Creaking Heart, and these can usually be found inside of trees. The Creaking's design was also made to camouflage these new trees, adding to that spooky feeling they were going for. But the Creakings can only do about 1 or 2 hearts of damage, so there isn't really much to be afraid of. Well, until you learn that you can't actually kill these guys. The Creaking is the first mob in Minecraft that you cannot deal damage to. However, there is still a few things you can do to stop them from attacking you. If you dig a 2-block hole and get the Creaking to fall in, they won't be able to escape. This method is really easy to do since the Creaking can't move when you look at them, making it a really easy mob to deal with. But that's not all, because the Creaking can only walk within 32 blocks of the Creaking Heart. This means if you just walk 32 blocks away from the heart, the Creaking will have no choice but to stop chasing after you. The last way you can stop the Creaking is by breaking the Creaking's heart. This can sometimes be tricky, but once you find and break the block, the Creaking will instantly vanish. The Pale Garden added a lot of different blocks to the game. These blocks are the Pale Oak Log, Pale Oak Leaves, Pale Hanging Moss, Pale Moss, and the Creaking Heart. These blocks can also be crafted into more things like Pale Oak Planks, doors, boats, signs, and many more different variations of blocks. Having these new gray themed blocks is very interesting and it should open up a lot more opportunity for builders in the future, especially when it comes to Halloween builds. So as I mentioned earlier, the Creaking only attacks you when you aren't looking at it. This feature is pretty much the opposite of how Endermen were. However, there is one key difference. Creakings will continue attacking you when you wear pumpkins on your head. Unlike Endermen who stop fighting you once you put on a pumpkin, these guys just won't stop fighting until you take it off and look at them. This is kind of a weird feature and I'm not sure why Mojang would add it, but it might be useful for anybody who thought about trying this. The Creaking is the first mob you can't keep as a pet. This is because no matter what you do, they will always end up despawning when it turns daytime. Even if you try putting a name tag on them, they will just continue disappearing the second they see sunlight. But if we're being honest, I don't know who would want to keep this as a pet anyways. There is a new accessibility feature which has a new type of block outline. When you go into settings and enable high contrast block outlines, you will start to see this new colorful outline anytime you look at a block. This is great for anybody who has trouble seeing as it makes the blocks very noticeable. And even though I don't have trouble seeing, I honestly like this new outline more. Mojang finally made minecarts faster. See, by typing in this command, you can adjust the minecart speed up to 1000. By doing this, you can actually travel 1000 blocks in under 5 seconds, which is insane. As of right now, there is no way to do this in survival mode unless you turn on cheats. But if Mojang does decide to make this possible without commands, then this might be the new fastest way to travel. Some other things you can do with this mechanic is transport villagers around super quickly, launch mobs hundreds of blocks into the sky, and make actual particle accelerators. I can't believe they actually added this update to Minecraft. The Creaking can't really move. Now, of course, we do know that the Creaking can walk and chase after you, but in terms of bumping into it or putting it inside of a boat, the game just won't let you. Instead, the only way you can really push them is by using water. Another weird thing is that if you push them into a nether portal, they won't actually teleport anywhere. And the same goes for pushing them into the end portal. One other thing is that if a Creaking goes 32 blocks away from the Creaking Heart on the y-axis, the game will just make the Creaking completely vanish. So yeah, these guys really have limited mobility. And overall is definitely a weird mob and not something we have seen before. We are getting a new item to Minecraft called bundles. The bundle acts like a backpack, allowing you to carry an extra 64 items. This means you can put a whole bunch of different items inside, saving you tons of inventory space. So now when you go mining, you won't have to dump a bunch of garbage on the ground when you need to pick something up. Instead, just put a few things in your bundle and carry on with your trip. They also added a bunch of different color options for the bundles, which is a nice touch to this item. If you destroy a Creaking Heart with a normal pickaxe, it won't drop anything. But if you use a Silk Touch pickaxe instead, you can actually break and collect the heart. This is very useful because it will allow you to spawn your own Creaking wherever you want. All you have to do is sandwich a Creaking Heart in between 2 Pale Oak logs, causing it to activate. So once it turns nighttime, a Creaking should end up spawning. The Creaking is officially the strongest mob in Minecraft. And as we know, this is because it can't take any damage. So these are some things the Creaking can survive. If you place down a bunch of end crystals and TNT and then light them, nothing will happen to the Creaking. Something else you can do is get iron golems to play volleyball with the Creaking, which is pretty funny. And as a bonus, the Creakings can also survive wardens like it's nothing. So yeah, this thing is kind of insane. So there we go. That is 12 new features coming to Minecraft 1.22. Let me know in the comments if you're excited for this this new update and subscribe.